Okay, so welcome everyone to this session. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. I know we are a weekend earlier than our usual weekends, so thank you so much for creating time even on this day. Why is my video off? I think Zoom doesn't want me to share my face, so my video is going off. Okay, so my name is Phoebe Msonda. I think by now I do not need introduction. Because my face is sort of irregular. I'm the regional coordinator for Southern and Central and Southern Africa, and I'll be moderating the call, but mostly my job is just to introduce the speaker. I'll read out her bio, then just devote the rest of the session for her to facilitate the conversation. So today's conversation, we're talking about breaking the script, redefining your own success. Redefining success on your own terms. So today, I hope we're excited about this session. I know success means different things to most of us. So I hope that this session will be valuable as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker for today. So our speaker for today is Patience Okange. She is a geomatics engineer. She'll educate us about what that means. I have no idea what that means. She's also a peace advocate, gender and human rights officer, and UN SDGs ambassador from Nigeria. She's passionate about girl-child development and climate sustainability. She has over 5 years of experience leading initiatives that empower women and girls in underserved African communities. She is the founder of the Confident Woman Africa Initiative, TCW, which has equipped over 4,000 young women in rural Africa. So that's a big impact with leadership and life skills through workshops and mentorship. As a peace advocate, she speaks against the war in Ukraine and killings in Benue State, Nigeria, urging action from government and the international community while supporting displaced women and girls with trauma healing skills and livelihoods. Patience has advanced her expertise through programs such as Harvard's Aspire Leaders Program, UPG Sustainability Leaders, Shifters 100 Academy, Green Innovators Program, and Mentor Her to Greatness. She is the 2024 Vital Voice Visionaries Awardee, 2025 VCAP Board Pitch winner, author of Confessions of the Confident Woman, and an active member of Vital Voices Global Community, YUNGO, Forbes BLK, Women in Surveying, and NIS Nigeria. So I'm using a lot of abbreviations. She might speak more on that as well. So please help me in welcoming Patience as she takes us through this session. Patience, you're welcome. Over to you, Patience.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Phoebe. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and the introduction. Hello, everyone. I see more of ladies. Is this session just for women, I guess?
Yes, AWEP is for just women scholars.
Oh, okay. From our last conversation, I was expecting maybe we'd have like some guys here. But it's good to have you. I
No,
love women. I love working with women. I love gisting with women. And I'm glad to be here today. So I'll be sharing my slides right away so we just dive into the conversation for today. So you just let me know quickly once you can see my screen. So I'm sure that we're on board. So let's get this. All right, so if you can see my screen very clearly, you let me know. Let me just see by your expressions, maybe in the chat, or your emojis. Beautiful. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I presume most of us are in Africa, so our time zone difference is not so much. I think everyone is in afternoon, I guess. I see my friend Sharon. So today we'll be talking on breaking the script, defining success on your terms. Defining success on your terms. And this is a conversation I believe it's very interested. Everyone should be interested in right now. Forgive me, my voice is not so clear because I have a cold. I'm still battling it. So forgive me if I get to make some of those clearing of truth at some points. Please forgive me for that. My name is Patience Ukange, and Phoebe has done justice to my bio, so I won't be saying much on that. This is just like a summary, although she was like, she doesn't know what geoinformatics means. So geoinformatics is it's surveying and geoinformatics, right? So geoinformatics are those who deal on climate-related matters, those who work with space. If you've heard of geodesy, Earth rotation, how Earth came about and the rotation of the Earth, all of those things around the space, remote sensing, photogrammetry, capturing objects without getting into contact, direct contacts with them. So that's a summary of the things I do. I know it's a bit technical, right? But it's quite an interesting field to be in. So let's get into the business. What comes to your mind when you hear the word success? I want to see us respond in the chat. Sorry if you feel like I'm looking away, sort of. I'm with my two of my gadgets. So I'm trying to see your responses and your feedbacks with the other gadget, and I'm presenting with the other one. So if you see me turn aside, just know that I'm not distracted. I'm with us. I'm just looking at your feedbacks. So let me get your feedbacks in the chat. Let's see. The question on your screen, let's just respond to it. Let's see your feedback. What comes to mind when you hear the word success? Maybe in one word, in a phrase, in a statement. Let's just hear you. Accomplishing goals. Beautiful. When I have achieved the set, I love this. I love the feedbacks I'm getting. Thank you so much, ladies. Right? To me, success means achieving your target. Beautiful. Attain dreams. Beautiful. All right. So I think we can move now. I've gotten a few feedbacks. So I'll just give us a few quotes, right, about success. Success is not one size fits all. What that means is it doesn't just have a particular face. So you must not say you shouldn't define success as this is what the template is. This is some template to success, and this is just how you have to follow it. If you miss it this way, you cannot achieve it. No, that's not what success is. The other phrase here by someone I love so much, I've read so many of his materials, is he said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue the account. So this one defines both success and failure and went further to explain a little bit about what we should see as success. And even at some point where we fail, we shouldn't see that, oh, this is the end of it. So because you fail at a particular goal, I love how we all define success. It is a particular goal, following a particular goal to the very end of it, saying achieving that goal is what success is. Unlike what we now define success by the society and by culture and so many other perspectives. And I love the ideology I'm getting here in the room. So I want to believe I'm in the room with the ladies with the right mindset about what success is. So it makes it easier for us to have this conversation. Here's another quote. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or idea, right? It's a progressive realization. So it's not about, in fact, it's not even about when the goal is finally met. Is about how you take the steps to achieving it. So if you have a set goal of having a master's degree, in the next 1 or 2 years, the first steps will be, what course do you even want to pursue masters in, right? What field are you looking at? What institution? Which of the institutions? How do you want to do it? Which of the nations of the world do you want to get into? And as you're making steps, figuring out what course you want to get into, you've achieved success in that line, you're progressing. The next step is, which of the institutions, right? Which country? As you're finding that out and you're unveiling things, the next step is application, right? You apply into the school, and once you get admitted, is another step, even before you resume to start your master's. And as you resume, you pay attention to your academics, your courses, you're scoring your courses, you're making progress. It is not until you receive that certificate, the master certificate, that you say, I am now successful at this, that you're making progress. Means you're taking steps towards achieving that goal. Please, let me ask, how many minutes do I have? I just delved into the session without asking the time I have, so I know how we can have this conversation.
So you have, from the time you started, you had 30 minutes, so that you can also have some time for Q&A, and then maybe 5 minutes at the end for us to do any housekeeping that may require.
Okay, so moving forward from here, how many minutes before we call it a wrap?
About 20 minutes.
Beautiful. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So we also have another quote here about success. It says, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Liking what you do, liking how you do it, and liking that you're doing it. So that is success. So I have here, what are some of the traditional scripts of success? Go to school, graduate from school, get a job, earn money, build wealth, retire, make a family, all of that. So that's what our society has defined success, especially as Africans, right? For most of us here whose backgrounds are Africa, that we believe in so many of these things, that you just have to get to school, you have to graduate from school. Once you're graduating, get a job, earn money, get married, make babies, and then retire. That's what we call success. But these are all societal expectations of what success should be. These are societal definitions. This is not truly what success is. This is not what success should be seen as. So when you're looking at some of these societal expectations, they come with so much pressure for you, coming from, in fact, at this stage in our lives, at this era in our lives, right, where you see that the world has really evolved, things have changed. You barely see people following this route now to success. You see that our parents, right, have so many questions to ask, have so many issues with how we are now living our lives. But then what this traditional script of success does to us is it's a big problem. It leaves you feeling unfulfilled. It leaves you feeling dissatisfied in yourself. It leaves you feeling like there's something lacking. There is something you need to do that you're yet to do. Even if the money comes, even if you get married, probably you have babies, you have a good job according to our society, a good job and money is there, but then you still have this lack of fulfillment in you. So we have here why we need to break this script. Why should we break the script of success? Success is defined externally. Success defined externally versus internally. So like I told us from the other slide, right? Success should be defined by you setting your goals and meeting your goals, how most of us have also defined success here. When you focus on getting successful, or when you focus on the definition of society as what success should be, there is so much stress that comes with it. There is so much dissatisfaction that comes with it. In fact, you're dissatisfied in yourself, and you realize that you're under so much pressure, looking around you, looking at, who is doing this like me, who's not doing it like me, why is this person doing it better than me, why is this person at this cadre, why am I still here at this level, all of those things. And then in the midst of it, or most of the times, people who follow this natural I wouldn't want to call it natural, this societal defined scripts for success feel dissatisfied. Most of them lose their identity in the process. But looking at what our society is now, looking at what our world has come into, has really evolved into, you would see that there are so many emerging realities right now. You see people achieving these so-called things, back in the day, we focused on money. Once you have money, you have some form of wealth, you get prestige in the society that makes you a successful person. But we've come to see now that that's not what the whole success should be, and what we should reverence and give regards to as success. How to redefine success on your own terms. What truly matters to you, right? This is the first question you should ask yourself when you're talking about success. What truly matters to you? So let me ask now, if you want to be real with us, can we just give us in the chat maybe a few, in a phrase or in a word, what really matters to you right now at this stage of your life? What's that first thing? I know a lot of things matter, but can we just give us one thing that matters to you right now? Let's have it in the chat. I'll be waiting. Let's have it in the chat. What really matters to you right now at this point? If you are to pick, what would that thing be? Let's get your reactions in the chat. Beautiful. Alima said, completing her education. This is a key priority, and that's success for you. So does completing your education comes with money? Does it come with so many of these other things that a society, completing my course, beautiful. It doesn't come with all these external things that we consider, or I would say our society has made us to consider as success. But then for you, it is a goal you have set for yourself, and achieving this particular goal is success to you. Alignment in all my life goes, beautiful. That's attaining masters, beautiful. So you see, if that is what matters to you now, that is what really matters to you now, then that should be a goal you should focus on, right? And as you focus on it, achieving it is what brings you success. Even if every other person does not really see it that way, you should consider what is internal, what brings you joy, what brings you fulfillment, what brings you happiness, what brings you meaning is what you should consider. So aligning goals with purpose, passion, and impact. So you should align your goals with those things that are of value to you. What are the values you hold in esteem? Having a happy family, beautiful. What are those goals you have, you esteem? What are those values you esteem? Those values you esteem should be what your goals should be guided by. So you should not go and set a goal, right? Oh, let's say somebody who's saying you want to have a happy family. Your goal, your value should not be around, you just, probably if you're not in a relationship, yet, your goal should not be, your value should not be around anybody who just wants to get into a relationship just to while away time and have fun. Because for you, you are looking at family and you're looking at having a happy family. So one of your focus should be that, if I'm not yet in a relationship and my goal is to have a happy family, then as a lady, if I'm considering a spouse, it should be somebody I want to get into a relationship with, somebody who also sees this as something that is important. Because having a happy family is not just dependent on you as a person alone. A family, you're talking about a man and a woman, and probably they have children. You're talking about children. If you're talking about extended family, you also talk about your siblings, you talk about your parents, all of that. So it's not just a you thing alone. So you have to make it clear to whoever is going to be the other party that will make you achieve this goal. You have to also let them see what this goal is and how you all can work towards this goal. So redefining success by your terms. I wrote down some statements here. I will just read them out verbatim to you. You have the right to define what success looks like in your own life. You have that right. Don't let people do it for you. I know what we're seeing is on social media right now. People flaunting the different things they do. Some people really lying about the things they see as they call achievements, the things they see as meaning. And then sometimes when you get on social media, you feel like, am I even growing? Am I doing anything? Am I making an impact? What is happening to my life? Can you imagine this person doing this? And most of us ask like, God, why? God, when? And all of those things. So you have the right. Do not be pressured by what you see people put out there. That's success to them. So you define success to you and then focus on it. So true success should align with your values, passions, your goals, and well-being, not just external approval. So if your goal is to get a master's degree, and that is what will give you joy, that is what will make you feel satisfied, and then maybe you have a sibling or a friend or somebody out there seeing it as you are pursuing too much of education, you should be focused on making money, you should get a job instead and make money, other than saying you want to go for master's degree again. That should not be your problem. Yes, they don't see you because you're not making the money. You probably are not in any job right now making money. You're focused on, oh, I just need to get a master's degree and all. And people are like, what is wrong with you? That should not be your problem, because for you, your master's is a goal right now. And for you, that is success. Time is coming for you to get into a job, and everybody doesn't have to get into a job, right? So as we continue, we'll get to see talk more on that. It's all about fulfillment, balance, and meaning, not just money, titles, or social expectations. Yes, it's good for us to get some of those accords from society, from family, from friends, and all. But then it shouldn't be at the expense of your fulfillment. It shouldn't be at the expense of your joy. It shouldn't be at the expense of your meaning. What's those things that make sense to you, those things that have meaning to you. So now I have some 4 key dimensions here that I have listed out. When you want to redefine success, you should look at these things. These are the 4 things that you should really look at. The first is your mind. And when we're talking about your mind, we're talking about growth. We're talking about resilience. We're talking about your mental well-being. We're not just talking about how you process things. We're talking about how what makes sense to you, how satisfied you feel, how dissatisfied you feel. Can you sit down and pick a material and read it and understand what is there and interpret it clearly without bringing in any form of emotional imbalances into it? So once you are unable to do that, then it means psychologically something is not right. Your mind is not really in the right place. And most of the time, some of these expectations gets us to that point. So your mind, when you're looking at your mind now, success means having peace of mind, emotional intelligence, and a growth mindset. It's about self-awareness, resilience, and continuously learning. So if you're looking at success in your mind, these are the things you should look at. Emotional intelligence, how do you react to situations? How do you give feedbacks? What exactly is happening with you? So if I meet you today, or maybe probably somebody steps on your toe out there, how will you react to the person? And obviously it's a mistake. How will you react to such a person? Will you just flare up? Why did you step on me? And then you get so bitter and annoyed? Or will you just calm there? In fact, even if the person is apologizing, you're not even ready to take that in. Will you calmly just look at the person and be like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, I understand. I understand it was a mistake. So I know that some of these things might seem like it's a personality thing, but sometimes it's not just about a personality. It means that your mind is not really sound. Your mind is not really okay. That's why some of the things that shouldn't get you so worked up, so angry, so agitated, get you feeling that way. So you need to watch your mind. When you're talking about success, watch your mind. And watching your mind means, are you growing? What are you improving daily? What are the things you're adding on? How do you react to people? How self-aware are you? Confident in who you are? Do you even believe that the goals you've set are the things you need for your life? And are you growing continually? So the number 2 here is money. financial empowerment. So let me even just ask humorously, is there anyone here who does not like money? Please, if you say no. Hello, can we still hear me? Are we together? Hello, Success, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You can still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And you can see my screen as well?
Yes, I see your screen.
Oh, beautiful. All right, so I'm waiting for our responses in the chat. I had asked the question earlier that if you're here and you don't like money, please let me see you so that I can come and collect the one you have. So I'm here to see your feedbacks. Are you that person that like money? Yes, my dear, money is important. I like having money. You know, there is this joy, there's this fulfillment, there's this strength. In fact, there's this happiness that comes with money. You have money. You feel like there is nothing that's not possible. That you feel like everything is possible. You can achieve anything, you can do anything, right? So the second, money, yeah, favor, money. So money is very important. You see, redefining success financially is not just about wealth, but control and security. So money also gives you security. Money gives you control, right? It's being able to meet your needs. So imagine that as little as getting sanitary pad, you don't have the money for it. And then when you are up for your flow, what do? Maybe you meet your roommate, or you meet your sister, you meet your friend. You know, it diminishes you. Somehow it makes you feel very little of yourself. It makes you feel less important. It makes you feel like you're not even growing when your basic needs are unable to be met by you just because you lack the finances to do so. So financial or will I say money now, financial empowerment is very important when you're talking about success. As much as we should not just dwell success on finances are also very important. That's why I have those 4 dimensions. So if you pick up those 4 dimensions and you work towards them, then you have a balanced life. As it has to do with success, you have a balanced understanding of what success is. Moreover, if you don't have money, how do you make certain kind of impact? I want to believe most of us here are beneficiaries of is it the AWEP scholarship now? If there was no money for that, how would you have been able to go through your education? And I believe most of you here want to give back to your community. If you don't have the funds to do that, how do you do it? How do you achieve it? Is it just by gathering people and talking to them? These days, people have real needs. And if you must make an impact in their life, it's beyond just trying to talk to them to make their mind okay. Sometimes you're talking to people, you're trying to advise them. It's not what you are saying they want to hear. They need physical money. They need food to eat. Until they eat or they get shelter to stay in, that's when they can now pay attention and listen to whatever you have to say. So money is the second dimension and is very important. So we have meaning as the third dimension. So this is where you talk about purpose and fulfillment. So there is no way you would say you're successful if you are not working in line with the purpose for your life and you are not having fulfillment within yourself. So all of these things are by you, right? It is not people that will define what purpose is. You know what your purpose is to you. This is a conversation that I will not even want to delve so into, but I want to believe we all know that we have an exact reason. We are not just existing on earth by accident, right? We have a reason why we were created by God to exist on earth. And there is some form of fulfillment doing these brings. So if you have whatever it is you're doing, so let's say your mind is sound and you believe you have finances, but then you feel empty as it has to do with purpose and fulfillment, then it's something you need to check. So success is living with intention, aligning your work, relationships, and choices with your values. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in what you do beyond external validation. So there are a lot of people who are doing things now, or who are living their life. In fact, that's one of the reasons why most people post what they post on social media, right? They want people to see that, oh, I'm making progress, oh, I'm doing something, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm living the life, you know. But most of the time, these people literally in themselves are not really living the life that they are posting out there. And sometimes you see it and you're like, the people are making progress, people are growing, but I'm just here. That should not be what we should focus on when we're talking about success. And when we're talking about meaning, success comes with meaning. So if you're doing whatever it is you're doing and you're still feeling some form of lack of fulfillment, you know, you're still feeling you're not having that joy, then it means probably you're doing something wrong, right? Or you have not picked what your purpose is. So it's always very important that as we are trying to redefine success by our terms, we should consider what our purpose is, what makes sense to us, what makes meaning to us, even if it doesn't mean anything to others, even if it doesn't make sense to others. I was tempted to give us an example from a movie. So let me still go ahead and do that. There's this movie, Just Us Girls. In fact, if you've not watched that movie, please go and check it out. So there's this movie, right? And then this girl's mom is this woman who believes that success is all about money. If you are not wealthy, you are not a human. In fact, you are not a human being. Her case is very critical. It's not like you're a human being that is not worthy of her respect. Beautiful, Just Us Girls series, yes. So she believes that if you don't have money, right, if you don't have so much wealth, I mean like very wealthy, if you don't have such wealth, then you are not a human being. And she forced her only child, her only daughter, to get into a career that she feels has money. And this girl's mind is out there. She wants to reach out to communities, vulnerable people. She wants to get into advocacy for mental health, you know, for public health and all of that. That's what she wants to do. But her mom is so against it. And this girl is making money from the current career, but then there's so much dissatisfaction. Lack of satisfaction. She does not feel fulfilled. So that's what happens to you when. Can you imagine, Favor? Favor, did you have to do this? All right, thank you for that. So it's actually a very good movie. There is so much to learn from this movie, and it's quite interesting to watch as well. So it's not a boring movie as well. So thank you so much for doing that, Favor. So let's always focus on what brings us meaning, as it has to do with purpose. So now let's look at the fourth dimension. I have community here, relationships and impact. So true success includes the quality of your relationships and the difference you make in others, in the lives of others. It's building supportive network connections and contributing positively to society. So let's look at this. I want to believe that we are on this call today because of a community. And I want to believe that if you learn anything from today's call, it is because of this community. And I want to believe that you're in this community because it gives you value. You're in this community because you have like-minded individuals like yourself. So at some point where you feel like you feel weary, you feel worn out, you no longer want to continue, you have people who would encourage you. There are those times where you just feel overwhelmed from the work you're doing or from that goal you've set for yourself and you're pushing towards. If you don't have a community that understands you, it's even difficult for you to be able to continue on your goals, to pursue your goals. Because imagine having a friend who does not believe in your goals, who does not believe that what you are set to do is what is good for your life. They will never support you. And we need each other. We need people to fulfill our dreams, to meet our goals, you know. It's difficult for you to set a goal that is just about you and you alone to fulfill. So there is need for us to look at a community, right? So when you're looking at success, look at that community that will push you towards meeting your goals. And if you have you are currently connecting with someone who does not even believe in your goals, except if they are family, right? Sometimes when they are family, they are your blood, you cannot send them away. There is nothing you will do. You just need to keep focusing on those goals until probably maybe they begin to bring forth that result that these people desire to see. Maybe that's when they can now believe in it. But if it's like a friendship, maybe a workplace kind of relationship, school kind of relationship, let go of such people because they are toxic. Pursuing your goals is very stressful. Pursuing your goals make you feel really overwhelmed at some point. So the kind of network you even need at that time is not people that will pull you down, people that will say, oh, this is not it. But it's people that will say, oh, this is it. It's going to be tough, but I'm here for you. I'll support you. People that would, it's just like saying, come over, I'm here for you. Come, let me hug you. At those times where you feel like I no longer want to continue, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed out, I'm tired. You need those people who encourage you, not people who say, hey, from the beginning, I had told you that this will not work. So just let go of it. No, those are not the kind of people you need around you. So begin to check as we're having this conversation, check around you. If you currently have such relationships, please, you need to recheck them and define what level they get to in your life. So practical steps to redefine success: reflect, very important. Identify your values and your strengths. So once you begin to look at those things that you are so good at, right? Those things that make sense to you, those things that when you do, you find meaning in. Those are the things you should focus on. Those are the areas you should now begin to set your goals around. So let's say you are somebody who really who loves to talk to people, you love to counsel people, you need to sit down and reflect. Okay, what is important to me? How can I do this? How can I build in this aspect? Do I need to join any organization that works with mentees that I have access to counsel them, guide them through life, learn more about how to even counsel and mentor people? Or do I have to start up my own initiative? Do I have to start up a program that mentors people, that guides people, maybe young ladies, children, teenagers, boys, men, it could just be any gender and whatever stage at all in life. But you need to sit down and reflect and ask yourself some of these questions. Set personal definitions, very important. Not borrowed ones. Embrace non-linear paths. So if you could still remember the image we had on the screen when I started, it was an image, right? It was more like a signpost with different arrows pointed to different directions. This way, that way. What that means is it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to even be a straight line. It's fine to be a curve. In fact, it's even fine for it to be zigzag. It's fine for it to be in different, looking like, oh, you're going this way. Before you know it, you're diverged to the other way. As long as you meet that goal, that is what success is. And not the graduate from school, get a job, get married, build wealth, retire. And most of the times, people who work that way do never even get to build wealth. Okay, so celebrate small wins. Yes, it's very important. Do you know how much strength and how much energy you build when you meet a goal and then you celebrate yourself for doing that? So I know that I've forgotten who said that here. You said you wanted to get your master's. Or let's even use the person that is still in school. She wants to graduate from school. Do you know the joy? I want to believe you can still record the joy that fills you anytime you go to the board, to the examination board, right? And then you see your result, and then you see courses where you had A's and B's, you know that excitement that it comes with. If you go back and even celebrate yourself that, oh, I'm glad I got an A or I got a B, or maybe probably you got a B, you should be excited, right? And tell yourself that, oh, I got a B, I'll work towards an A next time. And not just feel like, oh, I didn't get an A, so there is no need to celebrate. No, please. Celebrate that little thing you've done. It energizes you to see that there is actually more, that you can even do more if you're able to achieve this little. Seek mentors and not mirrors. So what the statement means is, look out there for people who are in the path where you want to get into, or probably who are in ahead of that path that you are already into, right? Look up to them for counsel, look up to them for advice, but don't just look up to them to replicate exactly what they are doing in their lives, because we are all different people. We are all unique in our own ways. Even if we are in the same path, right? Same career path, and we are building. We receive our visions in different ways, right? And then we ought to deliver in different ways. It mustn't be in the same way like your mentor is doing it. So that's also something we really need to check. So let me just give us a quick story. But before I do that, let me ask this question, right? And let's get your feedbacks in the chat. Can you remember somebody, after all of what we've discussed about success, can you remember somebody, right, who refused to follow the normal trend of, oh, graduate from school, get a job, get married, make babies, and retire? Can you give me one, maybe if you can remember somebody who did not go through this route, but then today the person is doing well, and for you, you feel like that is success? If you know someone like that, or probably if you feel you are somebody like that, let's see you in the chat. Just respond to us in the chat with, oh, I know someone like that, or I'm that person, I see myself as someone like that. So let's see your responses in the chat. Let me see your feedbacks in the chat. You know someone who did not follow the normal route of, oh, you have to graduate from school, get a job. Probably the person is not even, maybe the person is not even into any job right now, right? But then the person has done things, and for you, you consider it as success. Probably you are that person. So let me see your feedbacks. Do you know someone like that? Can you remember a story? Okay, beautiful. So Precious, again, let me ask from your feedback. So the person you know, for you now, do you feel proud of that person? Let me see. Do you feel proud of that person? Do you feel proud of that person? Who else is on the call? I see a lot of us, right? I'm not seeing your feedbacks. Alama, where are you? I see myself as beautiful. I just called your name and I've seen your response. Beautiful. So you see yourself as that person. Beautiful. Okay, so I'll give us like 1 minute to share that shortly, right? So there are so many stories, right, of people who today, if I write at the point of some not even being in school, some while they're in school, doing businesses. I know someone like, and I envy her, my dear. You can also be that person, and yours doesn't have to be like her. Yours can be your own thing too. And you're doing it, and you're doing it well. So let me just give us a quick story. Let me even use my own story, right? Exactly. You see. She has not even completed school yet. So let me even give you an example of my own story, right? So I'm from Nigeria, and Nigeria is one of those rigid African countries that believe that you have to get to school, you have to graduate from higher institution, you have to get a job, you have to get married, you have to make babies. In fact, as a woman, your most important priority is getting married. Once you are graduated from school, you have to get married. And so right from when I was in school, I never saw myself getting into any job, right? And so when I graduated from school, I went to do a service to motherland. That 1 year service we do, I want to believe other countries do it too. So in the process of that, I just found my passion that, oh, I love to reach out to young girls, secondary school girls. I love to talk to them. I love to support them. And so my career now, yes, I'm doing my internship. I'll soon be registered as a registered geoinformatics engineer here, right? But that's on the side. For my passion, what I'm doing, I've still been building girls, pursuing all of that. When I came back home, nobody believed me. My siblings were so against it. I never got their support. It was crazy. There were days I would just sit and I'm crying alone. I have this vision. I have these goals. I'm pushing for things all by myself. Nobody's support. Until it was around, was it last year? In fact, even last year, it was not looking visible until when I started getting some global recognition, right? I had an opportunity to travel to Germany on a fully funded trip for a project, just for me to talk on what I'm doing with young girls, how I'm supporting them, and that was like, I feel like a turning point. I got another trip to get to the United States, still on this, how I was helping young girls out there. And it was now like a turning point for them. And then they started seeing that, oh, this is actually a path to follow. This could be success. But when I started, nobody saw it as anything that somebody should be doing. Like, why will I go to school and spend, like, my course, I spent 7 years in school. So how will you go to school and spend like 7 years as an undergraduate and then come back and then you're saying you're not going to get a job in that career and get money, and you're saying you want to do something else? In fact, you're making noise around that you're speaking for young girls, you're helping them discover themselves, pick up their dreams, what exactly are you doing with your life? So, but today when they look at me, they celebrate me, because it's not even about bragging. None of my siblings even have any of these countries' visa, and none of them has had the opportunity to even travel out to do anything. But these are people that graduated from school and got jobs and are doing what they are doing. I'm not saying traveling around the world is like the highest form of success, but it's part of those things that define some of the things we do. So it's very important, and success here is personal. So one of the key takeaways you should be leaving this call with is that success is personal, success is flexible, success is evolving. So it is not rigid, it is not a finite line. So even if you say masters is that thing you want to do now, once you achieve it, you're successful. It doesn't stop there. Once you're getting to that master level, you discover there is something else, there's another goal, and you're working towards. And that is how it progresses. You're evolving, and it's flexible. So if you take this part and you feel like, oh, you failed on it, it's fine for you to switch to another part and move on that part. So I want us to do this right quickly. What does success mean to you? Even if you cannot do it right on this call because of our time, I'd like you to do it when you go back home. What does success mean to you? Write it down and begin to work towards achieving it. What success means to you is very important, because if you don't know what success means to you, you'll be carried away by what every other person is doing out there. In fact, you'll be discouraged, you'll be intimidated, So whatever it is that somebody is doing that people are celebrating, it's not even about people celebrating, it's about you feeling excited, finding fulfillment in what you are doing, because you know that this is what I'm supposed to do and I like what I'm doing. That is when you now know that you are successful. So I want to celebrate every one of you for staying on the call and for being engaging. I'm going to allow us now. I want to believe my time is even up. So if we have any questions as it has to do with this subject, success, please let me know. And it's so beautiful that our moderator's name is Success, right? And we're discussing success today. So Success, thank you so much. Let's know if we have any questions, and do I even have time to answer them, or is my time totally up even for questions?
No, Patience. We still have some time to just ask questions. We'll just to beg for the indulgence of the participants, we'll just go over maybe by 3 minutes so that we can cover any other housekeeping that we may have. But please do ask the questions. We have about 5 minutes to ask questions.
Sarah is asking, can we have a one-on-one discussion with you? Okay. Yes, Sarah, you can have a one-on-one discussion with me. So you can actually have a one-on-one conversation with me. Let me just, the next slides, right? Let me show you how you can connect with me. So you can connect with me on WhatsApp, you can connect through email, or you can get to me on LinkedIn, right? So this is my information, my socials. This is how you can reach out to me. So we can have that conversation. I'm looking at the chat to see if we have any other question. Precious says, thank you. Precious, you're welcome.
Don't go for Finwela.
Sorry?
I'm so sorry. I just unmuted myself right now. Same goes for Pinuela about the one-on-one.
I didn't get you.
Okay, my name is Pinuela. So Shaka had asked about having a one-on-one with you and had sent your contact. So I was saying that same goes for me. I would like to reach out to you as well.
That's fine. You can reach out to me. You can do that on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, on email, whichever is fine.
Thank you very much.
All right. No questions. I do appreciate you, and the presentation has been great. Oh, you're welcome, Isabella. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was actually short. And I'm glad that it was lovely in as much as it was short. I'm glad to know that it was still lovely. You know, time is of essence now. So anything we do, we have to watch time. So success, or is it Phoebe now? I think we are good. Our people do not have questions.
Okay.
Success has
Success has
raised
a
her
hand
hand.
up.
I don't know if she wants to say something.
I'm trying to say something. I thought I could type. Okay, what if you define success on your own terms and somehow you just find this delay of, I think maybe I should type.
Okay, no, don't worry. Say it. Say. I think it's faster, right? It's faster when you say it, and for us to, there's nobody saying anything
Okay.
right now, so you can say it, and then we'll respond to it.
All right. So let's say you redefine what success means to you. This is what would mean a lot to you. Let's say for the person who wants to finish school and then you find yourself, despite your efforts and desire to do this thing, you still see yourself experiencing some delay. There's this natural tendency to feel sad about it, to feel bad. Why is it that I'm experiencing delay? Why am I facing a lot of obstacles? So in that situation, does it mean someone needs to go back to the drawing board, or just keep persisting? Like, where does persistence come in? Or to just say, oh, maybe I'm facing the wrong thing. I need to go back to the drawing board and re-strategize, redefine this. Do I really want to achieve this? Like, I'm just saying, let's say you have an idea of what you want to do. You feel this is what you really need, and you don't seem to be successful at it. You're still failing at that thing. What do you do?
Okay, thank you so much for this question, Success. I love this question. All right, so you said something about where do you differentiate between being persistent and going back to the drawing board. So actually, going back to the drawing board is even you being persistent, because going back to the drawing board means, oh, I need this thing. I'm supposed to achieve this thing. This is what is good for me now. But I've put so much effort. I'm pushing the work, but then I'm not seeing it happen. Could it be that my plans are not well structured? Could it be that I'm not getting it right with my plans? So can I go back and look at my plans? Can I look at the drawing board again? And so I'll tell you that this takes us back to the first phrase, right? I think the quote by is it Weston now, that he said success is not final and failure is not fatal. So you've defined success. This is what success is to you. You need to get to school, you need to graduate, right? And I think that example is one of the most reasonable examples you could use. So who gets to school without not wanting to graduate? And in fact, why will you get to school and then you don't want to graduate with a good result? It's very important that you graduate with a good result, because it's not even all about going to school and graduating. It's about knowing what you're studying and graduating with a good result, because once you graduate, that's when you begin to explore the different opportunities that come with it. So now let's look at it this way. You set your goals, right? Let's use the same example you gave. You've set your goals. Oh, you want to graduate from school, especially when you have like, oh, you want to leave with a first class, or probably you want to leave with a 2 and a very good result. And then first semester, second semester, first year, second year, you're seeing that you are failing. You are not really meeting that goal or that target. What you need to do now is to sit back. It's not to say, oh, I can never meet this target again. Moreover, I failed already. It's for you to now sit back, right? And ask yourself, why am I failing? Which of these courses did I even fail? You know, if you're in school and you're studying a particular course, there are some subjects that you do first year, you still repeat them second year. It's just like you're just upgrading it. So what you ask yourself is, what are those different courses I'm doing good at? Which ones am I doing bad at? Why am I doing bad at? Is it that I didn't attend lectures consistently? Is it that I didn't do my coursework? Probably they gave projects, assignments, I didn't attend to them. Or could it be that I didn't really study well? Or could it be that I was not even understanding when I was studying? I didn't even understand the lecturer, or maybe the lecturer is not even a good person. He doesn't know how to lecture, you know. But do you have one or two persons that are passing that same course in your class? Could it be that maybe you just need somebody to explain things better to you? Could it be that you need to read more? You know, so that's still all these things, all these questions you're asking yourself are still re-strategizing and being persistent because you still want to meet this goal and you believe that this is the goal you need now. That is all persistence. It's okay for you to just say, okay, wherever I failed them, whatever I graduate with, let's just graduate. And you just relax. But you going back to still ask yourself this question is going back to the drawing board and checking how you need to do this. So one other thing I want you to know is that most of the times, right, there is just no way you set a goal, you want to achieve this goal, and then you put in the work once and then you meet it. Most of the times you struggle. You fail. Sometimes you fail twice, 3, 4 times before you are able to achieve it. So one of the things that should keep you going is, why do you even want to achieve this? And that is where we talk about meaning. So if you're doing whatever, if you're setting your goals in line with meaning, with the meaning for your life, meaning now I mean purpose for your life, you know, fulfillment, why you're doing it. So if you know what your why is, then it gives you, energizes you, because it now gives you meaning. You know that, oh no, I need this thing for this, and I have to do this thing. You know, so you keep pushing in line with that thing. But if you don't have a why, maybe you're just doing it because every other person is doing it, then that is when you begin to show, because when you are no longer fulfilling it, you're no longer meeting it, you now lack fulfillment, and then you lack energy, you're seeing yourself fail, and then you still do not even know why am I even doing this? Why am I here? You know, so you need to look first why you want to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Does it have meaning to you? Does it align with your values? You know, that is one of the things that you must consider first in setting any kind of goal that you want to achieve. It must give you meaning, align with your goals, and then you can push forward with it. Even if you fail, if you need counseling, right, you need more knowledge, you need to go and study more about that particular thing. You know, you can go back and study. Probably you need to ask questions, you know, before you continue again, or you just need to pause before you take that step again. But just make sure that you have a why and you don't let go of your goals.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I see. Thank you so much. Thank you too. I'm glad I was able to respond to that.
Okay.
Yes, they can actually be applied to every aspect of your life. They can.
Okay. So thank you so much, Patience, for that lovely presentation. And from the comments, I see that we enjoyed that session, sorry. Thank you so much for also coming on a Saturday to speak to us. We really appreciate your time and the time spent and also the effort in trying to bring some wisdom and also to just speak to us about this very, very important topic. I don't know if you have the flyer. I think when we were prepping for this conversation, I know you have a conference coming up in Nigeria. So for any of our Nigerian sisters who are able to attend your conference, maybe you could share the flyer while I'm doing some housekeeping announcements, and then anyone who might want to join who's it's in Abuja, right? The conference. Yes, it's in Abuja. And I know most of us have got friends in Nigeria, so please do share widely in case there's anyone who's interested in supporting patients in that conference. The one announcement I have is that if you are a graduate scholar and you are interested in applying for the seed grant, Bonimark is hosting a session right now, so you can just tune in. I think she shared on Facebook. I didn't know if he shared in our WhatsApp, but if you're interested in applying for the seed grant that is coming up in this month, I think this month and next month, please do attend that session as it's mandatory if you want to apply for the seed grant. Success, any other announcement that we have that I may have forgotten?
No, I think that's all. Yeah. Thank you, Phoebe.
Okay, thank you so much, Success. Again, thank you, Patience, and thank you everyone also for, I know Saturdays are most of the times, if we're still students, we are busy. We are busy with school, we are busy with other things, but also maybe this is our day for doing other things that we don't usually do during the week. So thank you so much for sparing an hour plus to come and join us on this session. And then our next session in October will still come in the third week of October. So this month it was a little bit different. So do look out for more details about that. I think Patience has shared in the chat before we end. If you are interested you can just click on the registration link and then you can get more details from there. Otherwise, I'll let everyone go. Thank you so much for staying a few minutes after the session as well. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, everyone. So you could just join, register to join.
All right. Thank you. Bye, Patience. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye.
Bye.